Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bookshelf Bites Summer Reading Edition, where we have a weekly cooking video that you can do alongside of us with things that you already have at your house. So today we're going to be making no-bake cinnamon rolls. You are going to need a couple of slices of bread, a little bit of butter, some cinnamon and sugar. I already have mine mixed up, but cinnamon and sugar is what you will need, and then a little bit of powdered sugar. Before we get started, let's wash our hands. Are you back? All right, let's do this. So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to start and we're going to make our glaze first. So for a glaze, you need a bowl, a little bit of powdered sugar. I'm just going to spoon some powdered sugar into my dish here. And then you need to add an itty bitty little amount of water or milk if you want to. It doesn't matter. But when I say a little bit, I mean like droplets. So I'm going to grab some water. I'll be off camera, but I'll be right back. So I just stuck my spoon in the water to get a little bit of water, and now I'm going to mix it all up. You want it not globby like toothpaste, but you don't want it runny like water. Kind of somewhere in the middle of that. Because we're going to drizzle this over the top of our cinnamon rolls when they're all done. Okay. So I've got my glaze, and it kind of runs out of there, like you can drizzle it on the top. That's perfect. So I'm going to set that aside. And we're all done with our powdered sugar. Didn't need a whole lot of it. Next, I'm going to get out 2 pieces of bread. And I'm going to start by cutting off the sides of my bread, the crusts, just because. It's totally up to you. Whatever you want to do. If you want to keep them on, that's fine. If you want to cut them off, that's fine too. So, using a knife and a cutting board, cut as close to the edge as you possibly can. Be very, very careful when you're using a knife. Little people, if you're watching this, this might be a part that a big person might need to help you with, okay? So I've got my crusts all cut off, and I've got 2 pieces of bread. Now comes the fun part. I have a little rolling pin here, and I'm going to roll my bread and just kind of squish it all together. So it becomes nice and flat. See? Flat bread compared to my other bread. Now I'm going to do it on this one too. Okay, now that they're both flat, I'm going to take my butter and I'm going to spread it across both pieces of bread. You don't need a ton of butter, just a little bit. Okay, I've got my butter on. Now I'm going to sprinkle some cinnamon and sugar. I needed a new spoon. My other spoon was already used up. So, sprinkle as much cinnamon and sugar. And I read this in a book once, and I really like it. You just measure that with your heart. So, however much you think you need. If you don't like quite as much cinnamon and you want a little bit more sugar, however you do that, you do you. Now we're going to take the bread and we're going to roll it up so that the cinnamon stays on the inside of the bread. Okay? So you have kind of like this little hot dog shaped thing. And then we're going to cut it into our little rolls and place them on the side on a plate, okay? We're going to do that with both pieces of bread. So roll so that the cinnamon and the butter and everything is on the inside. and then cut them into little rolls. Now we're going to heat up our cinnamon rolls. I know I said no baking, but we're just going to make it nice and toasty warm. 10 seconds in the microwave. When those are all done in the microwave, we're going to drizzle them with our little bit of glaze. And then it'll be just like a cinnamon roll. So they're nice and warm. It looks like my butter's melted in there, so now I'm gonna add my glaze. And again, you measure that with your heart, however much glaze you think you need. Okay, all done. So I've got my little cinnamon rolls here, and I've got my glaze on the top, and now I'm gonna try one and see how it is. It tastes just like a cinnamon roll. I'm making this video before anybody's here at the library in the morning. So when Sadie and Andrea get here today, they're going to be excited because they have breakfast. Thank you so much for joining me for Bookshelf Bites. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.